This week on Supercars Torque, it's time to talk about NASCAR, IndyCar, and then finally get on to the racing this weekend from Darwin. The big news this week is that Cam Hill has a new sponsor for the weekend. Well, no, not really. The actual big news for the week is that we had two of our stars, Cam Waters and Will Brown, head over to Sonoma for a NASCAR race there. Trying to emulate what Shane Van Gisbergen did last year at Chicago. Was a little bit unsuccessful if you look at the ultimate results of the weekend. But overall, I think both of them did a really good job. Will Brown was the betterer of the two. He was third in practice, I think it was. And imagine if he didn't have that qualifying gremlin, and actually if he'd qualified in third, he could well have done what Shane did last year and had a debut win there, I think. He ended up starting 23rd, I think, because of the qualifying issue. And he was racing his... I think he nearly got himself into the top 10 quite early on in the race before those gremlins reared their ugly head again, and we saw him drop back. I think he did ultimately finish the race, but he was multiple laps down because of those issues. Cam Waters was a bit more slowly, methodically working his way to the front. I think he nearly cracked the top 10 as well before getting involved in... There was a fairly big incident coming into the hairpin where a few people got stuck into each other, and chaos ensued. NASCAR went full Super 2 by the looks, and it seemed to have got suspension damage from that, ultimately leading to DNF. They didn't cover it really well in the coverage. Watching the NASCAR coverage, it really does make me appreciate what we have here in our coverage. You get so used to, I suppose, you've kind of got F1 and Supercars are definitely the pinnacle there of coverage, and then IndyCar does a pretty good job. To me, the NASCAR is a little bit, it's not quite as good coverage compared to the normal levels that I'm quite used to. But in good news though, Will Power took the win in the IndyCar race down there in Road America. Nearly said Road Atlanta. Anyway, he took the win. That was his first in over 2 years, which it's been a long time between drinks for Will Power. He's last year was his first winless season, I think ever in IndyCar racing. So it's good to see him get back on the winners rostrum there. Scott McLaughlin in third. It was a Penske 1, 2, 3, and then also Shane Van Gisbergen, of course, took the win in the Xfinity Series in Sonoma. So coupled with Formula One, where Piastri and Daniel Ricciardo both got points there in Canada. It was a pretty good weekend for the Australians and New Zealanders abroad. Now on to the Supercars Championship. The big news this week has, of course, been the new liveries for the Indigenous round in Darwin. Kicking off, we've got Cam Hill with Dabble, not Rabble, Dabble. I had a little heart attack when I first saw the photos and thought, Rabble's back, and I had flashbacks and thought, oh no money for Cam Hill there, but it is an actual, it seems to be a betting app thing. I didn't look into it too much, but I wonder if this will open the floodgates for other teams and betting apps to get in on there's a lot of money there. It's a bit like the cigarette and alcohol sponsorship though. We might see an influx and then a disappearance of it. Anyway, the car does look pretty good. Purple works well with their black scheme on the rest of the car. I'm pretty impressed with that. The sister Bendix car there, for Nick Percat. Really like this one. I think they've done a really good job, and it's not just one of those like the Dabble car where they've got the purple in the gap and that's where all the artwork is. On the Bendix car, they have worked the artwork into other parts of the car as well, so it kind of works all the way through. There's a couple of little nuggets in there, I suppose, the little bird on the side and things like that. That one does look really cool. So far, that's one of my favorites. The Grove Penrite cars, yeah, they've just basically added a bit to the normal livery. That's not a bad thing though. These cars look really good with their normal livery. Premier, kind of similar there. I don't think they've quite done as well as the Premier cars, but there's the Grove cars, but that's probably because their normal livery doesn't look quite as good. WAU, they've really embraced that this year. They've actually changed the looks on the cars, gone for more black on the car, which then really makes the Indigenous kind of bright colours really pop. The orange especially pop, but probably my favourite so far is that Optus delivery, the blue. It just really stands out. I think at the moment, they're leading. We still have more to see. And then the other ones that we have seen so far, the SCT Logistics. These guys have really embraced it again, gone the full car, total change of colour there. Probably a bit easier when you haven't got as many sponsors to keep happy. The R&J car is a bit more of that, just where we change a bit of the colour in there and leave it pretty much the same. It looks good, but it's probably not embracing it as well as what some of the others have so far. Now, for the racing on the weekend, we've got a bit of a weird format again this time. Friday we'll kick off with a 60-minute practice session, and then there is the normal qualifying session on Friday afternoon. So we get the triple challenge. So if you are the winner of qualifying on Friday and then winner of race 1 on Saturday and then race 2 on Sunday, you become the triple challenge winner thing. The Triple Crown. This is a hard one because then we have a top 10 shootout on Saturday and then a top 10 shootout on Sunday as well. So I would have preferred to have maybe seen the top 10 shootout even brought to the Friday, maybe. So it's a bit more of an event, because if you win the qualifying on Friday, it doesn't so much mean that you're going to start on pole on the Saturday. So anyway, the races then are 48 laps, I think they are. So we're talking just kind of under that hour of racing again. I'd prefer to see something a little bit longer, but that's just I would prefer to see 2 quicker sprints on the Saturday and a bigger, longer race on the Sunday, but this format is what it is for now, so that's what we've got to live with. But it does mean that you do kind of need to watch some of the telecasts on Friday to see the first qualifying session. Of course, then there will be the top 10 shootout, but I always find it's good to watch those qualifying sessions to see who gets into the top 10 shootout. Anyway, last year we had Cam Waters pole for race 1 and racing away until that Mustang burnt down to the ground. At that point where the parity thing was really starting to heat up a hell of a lot, and then the leading Mustang burnt to the ground. Anyway, that saw Mark Winterbottom take Team 18's first win ever. Mark Winterbottom obviously having a lot more wins prior to that, but that was Team 18's first win ever. Normal programming resumed in race 2 where Brock Feeney took the win, but race 3 we saw another first-time winner, first-time team winner with Jack LeBrock taking Matt Stone Racing's first win. Brock Feeney was the overall winner of the weekend. He was on the podium in every race. Shane Van Gisbergen only had 1 second placing over the weekend. Will Davison had 1 third placing, and Andre Heimgartner took a 2nd and a 3rd for all of the podium finishes over the weekend. Now, for my predictions for the weekend, I've got a feeling that Triple Eight won't struggle as badly this year. Struggle as badly. Well, yeah, one of the drivers wasn't off the podium all weekend and the other one only had 1 podium. But that's a struggle for Triple Eight. Anyway, I think Will Brown will he'll take at least 1 of the wins and extend his championship lead. I expect his biggest challenger to be the other NASCAR man in Cam Waters. I think both of them will come back on a high and really knock it out of the park. The main challenge will come from Chaz Mostert once again. I'm predicting that Brock Feeney will still be on struggle street somewhat. He'll probably still be in the top 10, but I think he's the gap 2, his teammate Will Brown, will become an issue again this weekend. And I'm also predicting that Jack Le Brocq is going to bring some of that magic that he had last year with MSR to Erebus, and they're going to find themselves back, maybe not quite in that front battle, but in that kind of, you know, 5th, 6th, 7th kind of battle. And yeah, but back in the conversation properly. So that's it for this week. Let me know down in the comments your predictions for the weekend. And yeah, did you watch the NASCAR race and what did you think of it? That is the first one that I have caught this year, and probably will be the last unless one of our current guys jumps in there, because I don't seem to care as much now that Shane Gisberger's over there full time what he's up to. But anyway, until next time, I'm still Dave and I'll catch you later.